Hi everybody, this is Mr. Moore. Hope that you're doing well. I want to give you some instructions here briefly for Sales Plan 5, the Sales Call Plan. Sales Call Plan. So essentially what we're going to do here is we're getting ready to have our big mock sales call with our prospect. And what I want to do now is to draw all the information together in one place that we can use as we prepare to go on that sales call. So that's what we're going to do here. Now what I've done is I have created a sales plan sheet, and I'll show that to you in a moment. And I want you to fill out this sheet. We're going to take some information from some of the sales plans we've already developed. We're going to get some information new that you'll have to develop for this. And then I want you to turn this in a Word document. All right, so down here is the sales plan sheet, but I've already opened that in another window. So I've got that up here. So let me try and pull that up so you can see it a little bit better. All right, so this is the sales plan sheet, and I've got some instructions here. Complete this sheet in its entirety and turn it into via D2L. Use it as a guide during your sales call with your prospect. Delete the text in the brackets once you fill in your own information. So let's look at this. All right, so I want your name and your date, obviously. Then we're going to go through several headings here. All right, preparation items, product information, and your call plan. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to download this, and you're going to save it as you know with your name, and then you're going to fill it out and turn it in. That's the way you'll do this. All right, so preparation items. I want you to put your prospect's full name. I want you to put the full address of where you're going for the sales call, somebody's house, Starbucks, whatever. Then I want you to think about any samples, literature, or technology you would need for this call. Identify those. You know, if you're going to take a sample, you know, of your glasses, we're talking about here, or of your hair color, or of a battery, or whatever it is. Make sure you put that on there to remind yourself you need it. If you're going to take a laptop or an iPad so you can show slides or pictures, make sure you put that on there. This is to help you remember what you need to prepare for when you go on your call. All right? Then product information. What I want you to do is I want you to go to Sales Plan 2. That didn't do the way I wanted it to. Sales Plan 2. And I want you to find those features, 3 value elements, and the deeper value explanation that you put in kind of in the middle of that document. I want you to copy that, and I want you to paste that in here for yourself. So you'll have a list of your features, you'll have the value, why people would buy, and then you'll have the explanation of the deeper reason people buy in this document. Because what I envision you doing is as you get ready for your sales call, you print this out and you read it, and you become familiar with it, and it becomes part of your mind as you sit there and talk to your prospect. You could also even keep it with you and reference it. All right, so nothing new here, just copy and paste. One thing I'll mention here, I think I mentioned it somewhere else, but I want you to clean this up. So when you copy and paste that, make sure it looks good, make sure I can tell what it is, make sure it's not all funky in its formatting or it's not all confused, or, you know, clean it up for me, make it professional. Now your call plan. Complete the items below based on Mr. Moore's Session 5 video lecture, where he lists the 4 steps to conduct a sales call. Okay, so what I've done here is I put the 4 steps in for you. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I want you to put information in here. So introduction, that's where we talked about saying hello, smiling, shaking hands, and having small talk. All right? I want you to delete that part with the brackets, and then I want you to write in there. How are you going to do the introduction? You're going to shake hands? Just put, I'll shake hands, say hello, thank them for their time, and then what kind of small talk are you going to make? Think about it in advance, because when you're new to this, it's hard. I've been doing it so long, I don't even think about it anymore. But are you going to talk about the weather? Are you going to talk about sports? Are you going to talk about the drive out there or the traffic? Or just put yourself some things down there that you might use. Secondly, your company overview and your role in the firm. All right, so here you have to get a little creative, because you technically aren't working for someone, and you technically don't have a sales job. So what I want you to do is I want you to create something. You know, if you're selling glasses, let's say that you're working for Professional Eye Services, and you're an outside sales rep for them, and you cover the state of South Carolina. All right, something like that. You have to make this up. New content required here. Write out how you will describe the company you work for and your role at the company. You'll have to make this up. That's fine. Just create something believable that you can share. It'll be good practice for you. All right, step 3, ask questions. What I want you to do here is copy and paste the general and focused questions you created as a part of Sales Plan 3. So go back to that document, find those general and focused questions, copy them, and paste them in here and delete this bracketed text. You do not need to add anything new here, but make it look good. Make sure I can tell what it is and it's distinguishable from the other sections of this document. All right, step 4, present your product. Now that you've asked all your questions, you're going to make your presentation. So here, what I want you to do here is copy and paste points A, B, and C from Sales Plan 2 here. These will cover your product's features, its value elements, and its deeper value explanation. You do not need to create anything new here. All right, so again, you just take that information and put it in here again. Now, handle objections. New content required. Write up 3 possible objections you expect you might get during your sales call and how you plan on handling them. So if I were trying to sell these flexible arms, okay, what could somebody object? Somebody could say, well, I've never used those before. That's not really a big deal to me. That's sort of an objection. It's kind of like a stiff arm. Well, I might want to think, I need to think about how I would answer that. Well, I might say something like, well, yeah, I know I didn't really think they were that big a deal either until X, Y, and Z. All right? So you need 1, you need an objection, and you need to list it, and then explain how you'd handle it, and 2, and that should say 3 right there, not 2. You'll figure that out. All right, then you determine the next step. This you have to do new content also. Okay, so once we do our presentation, we'll handle objections. What's the next step? Well, what we want the next step to be is the guy or the gal to give us an order, okay? But that doesn't always happen in professional selling. And in business-to-business selling, it sometimes takes many meetings. So what I want you to do here is think of 3 possible next steps that you would recommend depending on how the situation goes. One of those is going to be to get an order, okay? But I want you to think about 2 others. What if they don't give you an order? But you still want to keep the conversation going. You want to try and get in front of them again. You want to have some reason to talk to them again or meet with them again. So I say, what would you propose to keep the discussion going? Examples would be to send a sample, send a quote, get an expert involved to answer a question, answer questions yourself, set up a follow-up meeting to review answers or issues or something like that. Think about what you might recommend. All right? Pick things that make sense given your type of product. And then end the meeting. New content required. Write up how you will end the meeting. Think through what you will say to do this. Again, as a new salesperson, these things aren't as easy as they might sound. So how are you going to end the meeting? What are you going to say to bring it to a close? All right? And that's it. Make sure it's clean and neat. Make sure it's organized. And make sure it's thorough. And I'm sure you're going to do great. And I look forward to your submissions. Have a great day.